today's CX Quick Tips, we're looking at August 3rd, 2021. We always have these CX Quick Tips, roughly about 10 minutes or so to focus in on, some thoughts for the week. And definitely many of them can be expanded upon that, especially when I have Roy Atkinson on the CX Quick Tips with us. Roy, welcome.
Nice to be here as always.
And love the storytelling. And I know we're going to get into some good ones. So to get us started, we're talking about customer experience back to school season. For you and I, we've been talking a lot about, the seasons as they go on these CX Quick Tips. And a lot of people are, doing things in order to get their kids back to school if they're choosing to do that this year. A lot of things are still shifting. I think they're going to continue to do that. Some have chosen, to take the homeschool route. There's all kinds of movements occurring, which I think can impact the customer experience in a lot of ways. But from your perspective, kind of give us an understanding of what you're meaning by customer experience back to school.
Well, I think that we always have things to learn, right? Always be learning is one of the things that I try to get across to people all the time. And I love what my friend Ivanka Menken, who's a multiple entrepreneur and very focused on customer experience in her businesses, likes to say. She says, every day is a school day. And that is just, I've quoted her on that so many times, and I think about it all the time. There's something new I can learn today, every day, next week, week after, always be learning something. And that's really important. So back to school is constant, and maybe not so much back to school as what's next.
Okay. So, as you're talking and saying that, I start also looking at what are some of the things that we probably need to unlearn, right? Things have shifted on us. If we keep, we talk about the whole insanity moniker of, hey, if you want a different result, don't keep doing the same thing, and things to that effect. So what are some of the things you probably think that it's probably best that we unlearn going into the tail end of 2021 and going into 2022?
I think that it's important for us not to look back a year and a half and say, okay, we're going to continue down that road. We have learned so much during this pandemic, and we have so many opportunities as things shift, and we have to be so nimble and responsive. And I hesitate to use the word agile because it has so many different connotations on it now, right? But we really need to be nimble in how we approach these things. Remember that our customers are shifting. And something I wrote recently, the online market experience has just blown up simply because people didn't want to go out, were unable to go out. And so online buying went up like 44% worldwide. And so we need to rethink how we approach the customer experience. Even if we're in a retail business, how can we do that? And need to look at all the things that we had learned in the past and update them, make sure that we're doing things that will work for us now and will work for the customer now, which is even more important.
Well, as part of that, okay, so, we talk about new normals. We talk about, what you were referring to, saying, hey, it's not going to go back to, 2019, activities and consumer behaviors. The 44 plus or 40% plus, increase in online, shopping activity and commerce, that's going to go back down, and be in the teens level, because a lot of people are going to now, but that's probably not the case, right? So if I start talking about, learning, and you said every day we need to be learning, what are some of the things that we need to do in order to make sure that we're learning every single day?
Well, I think the important thing, and I think this goes back to the question you just asked, Jim, is ask good questions. And that applies to ourselves as well as to our customers. We have to ask our customers good questions, not just the same old, same old. We really want to know what's going on with them, and we have to ask them the right questions. And as you know, going back to Socrates, right? The Socratic method is to ask a question and make the student think about it before they respond. And great teachers stimulate our thinking by asking those great questions. So we really have to back up and say, what are some of the questions I need to be asking my organization, our customers, and how do those fit together? What can we learn from those questions, and what's going to fall out of them? And that's one thing, is to ask those great questions. Second thing to do is to read, because there's a lot of people thinking about this stuff and doing research on it. And so keep up on that. Don't think you know what there is to know. There's huge numbers of books on customer service and customer experience available to us now. And so look at those things, read them, stay up to date on what's going on in the industry and with organizations like yours and so forth. And then, another way to learn, of course, is to write. I'm a little bit prejudiced here being a writer, but one of the things that you find when you start writing is that you clarify your thinking a lot. You need to say, okay, well, what do I really mean by this? What is this the right word? Is this the right concept? Does it fit with what went before? Am I expressing it properly? What can I pull in from things that I've learned elsewhere? So you really, as you go through writing, and whether that's journaling for yourself or whether it's writing a blog or a vlog or whatever log you want, you learn through this. And then another big thing is to listen, right? First, seek to understand, Stephen Covey, and listen to people, listen to your customers for sure, because that's what customer experience is all about. Listen to your employees, because that's a big element in customer experience, is the employee experience. Listen to what they have to say. What can you learn from those folks? Ask the people who do the work is my mantra. What can they tell you can be better? Listen to your peers, listen to experts in the industry, listen to as much as you can. And then the other thing I would say is have an open mind, because you're not going to learn anything unless you're open to learning. If you think you know, you don't, right? You've lost it already. If you think you know what the answer is. And that's a danger in customer experience, by the way. And you've heard me talk about this before, the difference between customer experience design and customer experience. If you think you know how the customer is going to respond in a particular instance or to a particular change in your approach, you're wrong because they're the people who have the experience and you have to trust them to have it.
Yeah, the saying that I love is when you know, all learning stops.
Yes.
Because you absolutely close the door because, you already know. And
I know that, by the way, I know
that. Exactly right. Oh, I can always expect one of those or two or three out of you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So if I was to sit here and say, forecasting for 2021, and I'm not talking about workforce management, and I'm not talking about, different, trends in regards to online and brick and mortar and things like that. But if I was to talk about, trends that are going to carry forward in 2022, when I say that, what stands out most significantly for you?
Well, I don't think there's anything going back. There's Dan Burrows. I don't know if you're familiar with Dan, great futurist. He draws the line between soft trends and hard trends. I think there are a couple of hard trends. One of them, of course, is digital, however you want to expand on that word. If you want to talk about digital transformation, if you want to talk about digitization of different elements of organizations and businesses, that's going to continue. And we have to figure out how we respond to that. I think emerging technologies like AI and machine learning and data analysis, all of that is going to continue in a big way and get faster and bigger as we go. So all of that combined means that we're going to be dealing with the digital world in different ways over the next couple of years. And we have to be prepared for that. So brace yourself. There's a lot coming, and the rapid changes in the physical society in which we live. It's on again, off again, on again, off again right now. It's probably going to continue that way for a while based on what we know from numbers. And so you have to be able to deal with your business in a way that's not impacted by that or is less impacted by that than it has been. So digital is where it's at.
Roy Atkinson, as usual, great stories, great insights. Roy, how do folks get in touch with you that are part of our CX Quick Tip listening and watching family?
Great way to do that is on Twitter at Roy Atkinson. Big surprise there. I'm on LinkedIn, and you can find the business at cliftonbutterfield.com.
And Roy is also a frequent contributor to these CX Quick Tips and CX Global Media. Roy, thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom, and we wish you the very best.
Thanks, Jim.